Okay, so this is the second part to my vlog. Now I'll talk about this pregnancy. Um, After I lost the first baby, I really wanted to try again to get pregnant. I really missed being pregnant. I had my hopes up so much, so um, we pretty much immediately started trying again. I lost the baby on July 22nd, is whenever I actually had the miscarriage. And that was 2011. So I had my next period August 19th, and September 17th I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, September 17th I found out I was pregnant. I was tracking ovulation and everything. So she was extremely planned. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get pregnant, because the reason that she was the first baby was such a surprise was because we had kind of given up on the fact that I couldn't get pregnant. I mean, we didn't use protection. We weren't trying, but we weren't not trying. We didn't mind a baby, but we weren't trying to make a baby, I guess. But it had been almost a year that we hadn't been using protection. And I knew the days that I was ovulating, and we were still, we were having sex on those days, so. But I found out, with the first pregnancy that I had a retroverted uterus, so I'm not really sure if that had something to do with it. But anyway, so I found out I was pregnant, and, I immediately started stressing out, because I thought that I was convinced I was going to have another miscarriage. And, really, I almost lost this pregnancy. Like I said, this was not an easy pregnancy at all. Everything seemed fine. I went, as soon as I found out, which was at 4 weeks, I was kind of, expecting a positive test. I found out at 4 weeks. I immediately went to the doctor, everything, and, they wouldn't give me a dating ultrasound at first, so, anyway, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Pregnancy brain. Anyway, oh, sorry. At 7 weeks, I started to bleed. Not bright red blood, but like dark brown blood. And, I immediately freaked out. And I rushed to the emergency room. They did an ultrasound, and they determined that I had a subchorionic hemorrhage, which is a slight bleed in between the placenta and the uterine wall. And they told me that it was a 50-50 chance of losing the baby. If it kept detaching from the uterus, that I would have another miscarriage. So, I was really worried for a while, and they said as long as I wasn't bleeding red, I was probably okay, just to keep an eye on it. And I bled for up until 12 weeks, whenever my body reabsorbed it, and I passed all the old blood and everything. And it was just a slight detachment, so everything stopped, the detachment stopped and everything. So I was extremely happy to find that out. Well, 14 weeks we found out she was a girl. I kind of had to talk my ultrasound tech into it. I'll probably include some pictures somehow. I don't know anything about editing videos, so I might have to just do another video of just pictures. But yeah, we found out she was a girl. She was not afraid to show us she was a girl. At 20 weeks, I was hospitalized. I have problems eating, not an eating disorder. It's actually, I've yet to find out what's causing it, but it's like nerve damage. I have dysphagia, which is I have trouble swallowing food, and then my stomach won't really empty like it's supposed to, and it's called gastroparesis, or delayed emptying. I really haven't been able to get a doctor to check me out while I was pregnant, so, and it recently, it started before I got pregnant, but I wasn't able to get in to see a doctor prior to getting pregnant, so they wouldn't touch me. But anyway, so that's the whole weight gain thing. I had managed to put on 30 pounds. I weighed 109 pre-pregnancy. Now I weigh 143. So I've done, I think, excellent. I didn't start gaining weight until after, like, right at 6 months. So I feel like I'm doing really good. But I was hospitalized at New Year's, or right after Christmas, like December 28th. I hadn't had morning sickness. I had a little nausea, for like a week or two, but I wasn't like throwing up or anything. And all of a sudden, on December 28th, I got extremely sick and I couldn't keep anything down. I was throwing up constantly. As soon as my stomach would fill up with stomach acid, I would throw it back up. And I had to get rushed to the hospital. I couldn't eat or drink anything for like a week because of the nausea. It was like a full body kind of nausea, like a nausea that hurts. I don't know if anybody's ever dealt with like stomach flu type nausea, but it was something kind of like that, but it just didn't go away. And they ruled out stomach flu, they ruled out viruses. Everything came back fine, and I'm thinking it was probably just my gastroparesis acting up, but they still never really told me why it was doing that. So but they had mentioned a feeding tube and IV things, sending me home with all kinds of stuff. And after a week, I got where I could kind of eat again and kind of drink again. That's my cat. Sorry. But it really set me back. I lost weight, while I was in the hospital, and it caused me to have an anxiety about hospitals. So I'm about to have to wrap this video up. There'll be another, more segments to this, but it caused me to have like an anxiety about hospitals, because of that stay. But I got over it. I got out of the hospital, and it took me a while to get back to normal. I didn't have an appetite very much after that. And just recently have I gotten it back. So I'll talk more about it in the next video. My phone has like a time frame for YouTube. So I can only do like a 10-minute segment. So I'll have to do another part to this.